Hey, it's your boy Conservish 34 going live here. And hold on, let me ask guy. I'll let everyone roll in for a second. Hello, everyone coming in. Right. So yeah, I had a couple weeks where I did not do the live stream. I was just watching John Mayer, his live stream in between shows. If you guys like John Mayer and you came here for Dave Matthews Band, which we'll talk today, I have a show called This Week in Mayor that I post to this same YouTube channel. So definitely subscribe for the alerts with the notification bell, and you'll be alerted when those get uploaded every Saturday. I'll be doing those. The cool thing is, uh, as much as the Dave Matthews Band community has a lot of people that put videos up that have archived the set list, it's not. I don't see it that much in the John Mayer community, but people earn for the rare songs. People think, oh, it's all these pop fans who like this and that. No, no, no. Fans, male, female, young, old, they yearn to get certain songs at certain shows. And so, what I've been doing on this week in Mayor, kind of this second episode came out today. I've been archiving just like the DNB Almanac or Ants Marching does for DNB. I've been doing that with John Mayer just so that people can get that, but also talking about the music, not just trying to be a stat guy as I can be as far as songs. I don't statistics and other areas of life are my favorite, but uh, just trying to give that insight. So I archive every song that's been played. I do the tour debut thing, just like in the DNB world. I have the partials, the teases, the segues, the interpolations, all documented for John Mayer. And what's interesting is, as much as we talk stuff in DNB, what I came up with is it's 3 weeks into the North American part of John Mayer's tour. I found there's 56 unique songs, 7 teases, partial snippets, or interpolations, uh, and then 7 total covers. That's in some way or form. I was able to see which albums have the most, which albums have the least, and been trying to bring that to just to the fans out there in John Mayer world. And many of them are Deadhead, so they know about the set list statistics in the Deadhead community. So that's what I've been doing um, for some time. And part of the reason I haven't been on is because I was going to John Mayer shows last week and I had to get up early. What's up, Patrick? What up, man? And speaking of Patrick, I sent him a thing on Instagram. I saw the Ohio State coach, new head coach, throw out the first pitch at Fenway Park. He started off in, I believe, University of New Hampshire. He's a New England guy, which for football, that's a big deal. So they celebrated him at Fenway. And yeah, I know Patrick's like, and that's a big thing to be a guy who started in University of New Hampshire, and work your way up to the Ohio State. You got to remember the Ohio State University is a big thing. It's a big thing and a huge thing for New England, for University of New Hampshire to say their coach, one of their coaches that came up through them, is now one of the biggest programs in the country, placing big shoes. So yeah, I was talking to Patrick about that. But yeah, so I've been having a lot of fun. 2 John Mayer shows 2 weeks ago. Last week, Yankees, Red Sox. This week, nothing because I gotta get that money. I'm still getting ready for the gorge. I gotta rest up, and by resting up, I ran 10 miles today. Trying to get the half marathon training in, and we'll see. Let some other people come kind of roll in. I want to talk about some stuff I've been observing over the last couple of weeks and try to get in, get out. in about an hour. I know that's rare for me. I know that's hard. Thank you, Patrick. We're going to talk about the Gorge and the set list of the Gorge because I was having a conversation earlier on D&B Family, and I was like, "What? Nope. Dave rewards people who travel to the Gorge." Yes and no, and we're going to look at some examples of songs not played at the Gorge, despite it having 3 nights of amazing shows. Looking forward to that. Hope to see some of you guys there at the Gorge if you guys are going. If you're on the rebroadcast listening to this, I just commented, yeah, I'm going. Well, I'll be on the hill at least night 1, and then seeing about night 2 and night 3. Honestly, definitely night 3. I'm pretty much going to get a long ticket. I've been told you want to enjoy that hill for 2 of the nights, and it was night 3 I was. So night 2 in the middle, I may get another. Like I may try to get seats or a pit here, and but this trip is I'm not doing the camping thing. So it's a little more expensive than the average gorge goer because I have to fly cross country. I got a rental car. I'm getting down there Tuesday, and going to some stuff down there. I'm flying out Tuesday, Patrick. So I'll be out there Tuesday. Trying to get to Idaho. I'm a geography dude. I just stare at maps all day. So I'm trying to pull up to Idaho and Oregon in this trip. So just to go to those states, and I want to get to the Pacific Ocean because I've never been there. Been to Vegas twice, but never been out to the West Coast. So that should be a great trip. Just waiting to see. I know Talking Tunes may roll in a little later. Oh, you're going to a family reunion in Seattle. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, hopefully you have fun out there. We'll see. Probably gonna go to the Yankees game. This is crazy too. I'm a diehard Yankees fan. That's why I went to Yankees Red Sox, and they're playing that week. So I'm definitely going to one of the games. I just don't know which one yet. But the Yankees are playing the Mariners on. They're doing a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday series. So the stars aligned. I was gonna go anyway. I'm a ballpark guy. Geography, ballparks, those are a couple other hobbies. Well, just not even ballparks, venues. I love stadiums, arenas, ballparks. I love just the geography. I mean, I don't know Le'Veon Bell's stats. Okay, I don't know the leading rusher at Ohio State or Michigan per se. I mean, I'll know certain players like Rashawn Gary, or or I'll know like certain players in the conferences that are top notch. Like Texas Tech, Dakota Allen was a big defensive player in the Big 12. I know stuff like that, but I know venues. Even if I haven't been to them, I know like the different types of venues. College football is hard because some of them are smaller, but NFL, I know all those venues. I know when the name changes. For the most part, now they change every year. But I love college. I mean, I love venues and the college sports venues. Um, I know I should. I'm trying to get to a major. I live in Connecticut. I've been to a game at Fenway, which was pretty cool. A football game last couple years ago for UConn football. That was the fall of 17, I believe, 2017, which is really cool. See a football game at Fenway. They used to have a lot of football games at ballparks. And DMB Mamas is in the house. Good to see you. But yeah, I'm gonna try to go to on the bucket list is an SEC game and obviously a Big Ten game. Which game it is, I don't know. But the Big House and the Horseshoe at Ohio State are two of those that would probably stand out. I mean, everything else is kind of not worth. If someone gives me free tickets to a Missouri game, I'll go. Or an Iowa State or Iowa game. I'll go. Oh no, Iowa State's Big 12, but Iowa I know is in the Big 10. Because I remember when their fans were. Remember when the Iowa fans were like, "Oh, we should win. We should we're contended." No, you're not. You had an easy schedule and you lucked out for about 2 years, and you still lost. So, anyway, Let's get to the DMB. We got Patrick and DMB Mamas in the house. So, first thing I wanted to talk about is posters because I've joined a couple poster communities just to kind of see the lay of the land. And I do love seeing what the posters bring. Some of the classic ones, some of the newer ones. This poster market is crazy, and I knew it always has been. But uh, just to, I've seen two different posters where people have made $1,000 in the last 2 days following this for DMB. One of them was on eBay, and I think the guy made 1,300. It was a 2012 poster with like a mason jar and a lemon in it. Joint made over $1,000. Okay, it like the bidding was crazy, and it closed out, and I think it was around 1,300. Um, but it's art, and people are willing to pay for it. Now, to me, we'll get to some of my opinions in a second, but yeah, 1,300. Then you have within the Facebook poster swaps, you have this lottery system. So it's like it's almost like paying for squares for football. If you guys do that, allegedly, because it's technically some states you can't. It's against the law. I do not participate in any square purchasing games. You pick two numbers, and if the number ends, if one of the team numbers ends in that number, you get paid. But essentially, they have a lottery system. What people are doing is, all right, the poster costs you $60 at the venue. They'll have $10 squares, right, and or $10 slots. So if you buy three, maybe the guy will charge you, or girl will charge you. Oh, the Lakewood poster. I think it was a Lakewood poster. I think it was a Georgia one because it was a limit. Yeah, but so essentially, you pay $10 per spot, and you can pay as many as you want. So you may not win the poster, but the more spots, the higher chance. So you can pay $10 a spot, $8 for three, $8 for if you buy up three or more, they'll charge you $8 per spot. But you can do, these people are making $300, $400. Now they pay for your shipping. They invest in these poster tubes, PVC pipe like tubing to really protect the poster, and the posters are fully in good shape. All four corners set, no scratches or anything. So, but what's happening is, I'm sure some of you guys know about this, but I really didn't know this is how another way posters were sold. I always knew the eBay way, but there's another, there's these ways on the poster communities where, all right, you sell squares. Sometimes it's $20, $30 I've seen up to, and people can make, like, someone yesterday did the squares, and I think it was like $1,000 profit. Yeah, it was like $1,000 minimum they were gonna make. So people bought multiple, they still were gonna make 1,000. I mean, now again, you're playing odds, so it's like gambling. But this stuff is crazy. What people are willing to pay in the obsession. I mean, I have posters right over here. There's a poster behind me. I'm Brother Man poster, but I'm obsessed with posters from different shows. I'll bring in. Let me show you my. Hold on. I also got this Avid Brothers poster I need to put up, and then this one is dope. This is the Elton John farewell one from last year. So this one I got a frame as well. I've been meaning these. This is from last year too. This one was 30. And what's funny? This is what we're gonna talk about too. The demand for D&B is higher. This thing, this poster was only like $30. This was at UConn at the Jorgensen Performing Arts Center. A couple days for my birthday. This poster, look how beautiful this poster is. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a D&B poster up there with the moose, and my computer, like, this whole thing just broke. So I don't want to rotate my computer. This poster to me is just as good as the D&B poster, but D&B has such a larger demand of people trying to buy posters. So let me put these back. But there's so many people that want these posters that it really, yeah. And DMB Mama says, yeah, the moral of the story: you splurge on a $60 poster to show you like. Wish I had learned the quality of methane posters are worth the retail, high demand and high quality. Yeah, and I mean these poster buyers. What we're seeing is because of this market, they're getting mad. One of the guys, I can't remember which one it was. I don't know if it was methane or Sperry. There's a couple, a couple of people. They were mad because they were seeing on eBay. I'm like, you should see the Poster Square games, allegedly. But some of the poster creators are mad, and some of them are making you subscribe. And what they're doing is now they know, okay, you can subscribe and get all of them if you pay this certain price up front. It's kind of blind faith. You don't know. You know the reputation of some of these poster makers, but you don't know how it's going to turn out, and you have to purchase all of them because they know some of them are going to be not as good, not as high demand. But it's just like any art. I mean, how many pictures? $1,000 is nothing in the art world. I mean, real art, art gallery type folks would laugh. Oh, a Dave Matthews Band poster is going for $1,000. Oh, 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 break the bank for that one. A 2012 Lakewood Amphitheater. Oh, 1,000. A rock. Oh, what about 20 rocks for a Basquiat? Like, so I mean, in the poster price went up. Is $60. Pretty much a lot of these venues have been $60 this year, and they were $50 before. I think I bought mine for 40 or 50 in Hartford. And I know the gorge is going to be crazy. And some of it now is you got to break your tailgate to get into the venue so you can get a poster because they're selling out. I mean, they've always sold out, but the demand really is what does it. And what's funny is now some, like the Rolling Stones posters I heard are outrageous for that tour. But you know, there's demand for certain artists. But Dave Matthews Band has a higher demand than a lot of other poster, a lot of different other communities of posters. Talking Tunes is in Talking Tunes. We're talking high quality posters. I mean, high prices for posters in the different gambling games. You'll see on the replay Talking Tunes. If you don't know, there are different lotteries for posters where people pay $10 a slot, $20 a slot. So DMB Mom says, I'll pay $1,000 for my prize 2018 poster if I had it. Luckily, I just paid 100. A lot of posters at Tampa, West Palm Beach. I think it end this show either. Yeah. I mean, to me, there's definitely posters that look nice, but and this is just me, and I'm not a poster diehard. I'm not the market that is driving up the demand. To me, maybe I'll get 2 or 3 other DMB posters in my entire lifetime, if that. And, who knows? Things may change. It may be like a really dope one, or towards the end, if they do a final tour, I may want to rack up a couple of them if I get in early and pay the 60, or even I'm sure they'll be like 70 or 80 by the time it's their final tour. If they're I hope, Lord willing, they're able to leave on their own terms. Everyone will be healthy and well to retire on their own terms, and we don't have any other tragedies. But I mean, I don't really see myself. I'm more obsessed with getting different posters from different uh, bands and artists and sports type things. I'm more of that. That's my obsession, even though I only have a couple posters. But I just don't see like people wanting almost every other poster. And some of these posters are trash, and they still want them. They're like, no, and I know art is objective, but I'm like, this is a bad poster. Why do you really want this poster? So, uh, I mean, it is what it is. But what's happening is this demand is only getting worse. There are people that have entire basements filled, and that's their right. You know, I'm not obsessed with posters, but every year I go to Yankees Red Sox. I'm a big tour tee guy. And even in this, I bought this at the NCAA regional. Oh, yeah, this shirt. I love buying shirts like that. Now it's a little cheaper, but I don't know. To me, I just it's not that bad. And Talking to said you walked in for 7 all 3 shows. Then we get a poster for Tampa and West Palm Beach night 2. Yeah, so and I think it's different. I think it varies. So DB Mamas has had some years where the 2018 poster she paid 100. It depends on the venue and it depends on the year. Some years people want them, and really the big ones are the Alpines. I mean, you look at Deer Creek. There's a Deer Creek poster with the woman in her hair. That poster is popping. I mean, that poster, people are selling those already. Sometimes you gotta wait. And some of the bigger venues, when they make a solid poster at a big venue, that thing is sold out. Like SPAC this year, they had the horse racing one. I mean, that thing was gone. My boy John Dix, someone bought it for him. And what's interesting is you got the night one specific shirt or weekend shirt. Those aren't selling as well. And I love short. I'm a t-shirt guy, the tour t-shirt guy. I love buying those. And SPAC night two, the SPAC one last year was on the Cinco de Mayo sale, meaning it didn't sell. But obviously the SPAC poster sold out. The lawn pretty much sold out. All the seats, there was not a seat available. So an interesting thing there. But we'll talk more posters as well over the year, and we'll see what stuff. I'll see what else I find in the poster groups, and it's interesting community. And it's their right. Art is what you make it. As much as I'm like this, it's crazy. That's their passion. They like the art, and it's cool because it's art. It's not like it's something else you can get into, and how the artists are getting paid off it. And a lot of artists are doing what they call drops, just like the Ticketmaster releases tickets randomly. Artists will send emails to you and say, "Oh, we're dropping 50 or 20 more posters," and you got to go on your little computer, and there's a cool system where people say +1, meaning they got a poster. So from a drop, and they'll be like, "How did you do? +1, 0, +1, +1." So it's pretty cool lingo and things I'm learning there. Yeah, and lack of D&B sizing on T-shirts. Um, Someone was asking for an XL summer tour shirt, just the regular summer tour, not a venue specific one. So yeah, I mean, you got too many shirts and posters in general. I'm starting to get there too, not with the posters, but the shirts. I just have way too many tour T-shirts. But what people are doing is you make quotes out of them, things like that. All right, that's all we're gonna do with posters, though. I want to get to some other stuff. DMB radio is what I want to talk about next. Um, Yet again, there's a petition. The petition's going, oh, keep XM radio, and it's just funny because the cycle continues. And now, they did repeat it for the summer, but there's no way this is a permanent station. Plus, the station, to me, the station just I haven't even been listening to the station except Fridays or for replays. I've been listening to Jam On. I've been listening to Grateful Dead radio. I'm not really listening to me, Jam On is just such a value. And I would hope that DMB fans, now a lot of them signing up just for XM or for DMB radio, just take 5 to 10 minutes and check out Jam On. And they repeat everywhere, but it's just such a great station. It's just a great station, and you get exposed to the Pigeons playing ping pongs and Marcus King bands. And Marcus King band, I got in late for them when I saw them open for Tedeschi Trucks. And the tickets were mad cheap. I mean, the lawn was like $5 or $10 on StubHub, and I got seats dead center for like $40 in the lower pavilion, dead center for $40. Face value on the seats was like 100 or 85 or something like that. For dead so anyway, you can explore some of these and made the revivalists. I've explored through them, just some great bands that are on the come up. So and we'll talk about the Woodland show in a second, which sounded great. I thought it was better. I thought it was better than the live recordings. So they're able to touch it up and get everything ready. But the DMB radio is not staying. I'm not even gonna miss it once it's gone, because once the tour is gone, I don't care. And we were talking earlier on Twitter. I know DMB Mama saw the tweets. The Seek Up was amazing, and the Woodland show. when I looked at it, I'm like, yo, they should have did Dallas. They should have did Dallas instead of the Woodlands because the Dallas show was epic, and they're probably saving that for something special. Save some of those tracks for a warehouse bonus disc. But the show sounded great. The Woodland show sounded great. Even she sounded great. And it had that new solo. The first time I heard the new solo was Hartford in 2019 this year because I had heard it last year, but this year Tim's done some different things and it sounds better. But the solo and the playing and she sounded great. Funny the way it is, sounds great. Seek Up sounded amazing. Even though I've seen Seek Up live in Mansfield, and obviously it's been on other Saturday night concert series, at least 2 or 3 of them. So Dallas has, yeah, Andy Mendoza did put that on. They was pretty cool to see that stuff go up quick. But to have an H high, like a soundboard version would be amazing. But the Woodland show, check it out, Talking Tunes, and anyone else who missed it, it's solid. It's A plus to me, the way it sounds. The set, don't let the set turn you away because you're gonna get better versions of stuff you heard from some of the live shows. Um, but D&B radio, I just don't see it, and it's just to me, it's still mind-boggling. People don't want to make their own playlist. People are like, what do I do after D&B radio, bro? Live tracks, like the first 20 live tracks are on Spotify and Apple Music. D&B Mamas, I think you liked one of the posts. You may have not, but someone tagged me and said, I love the Seek Up from the Woodlands. That's what we're talking about. And then as far as Andy Mendoza, he uploaded the entire Woodland, like you can hear it on YouTube. If you check that out. But someone tweeted me earlier. I thought you liked it, D&B Mamas, earlier this morning. But someone had tweeted me. I love the Seek Up from the Woodlands, which is outside of Houston, which is a huge city with great food and a fun rodeo that I've been to. I'll have to get down there for D&B one of these years. But the other thing is this, and I've been getting this, and many of you guys that are tuned in live here know this. People are like, "Oh, why are they playing the same stuff over and over?" Satellite radio is just like digital cable. I remember when digital cable, like HBO, showed all that stuff. Oh, it's awesome! It's going to be totally better, and a lot of it is totally better than regular radio in many senses of the word. There's no commercials and for certain music, just for sports. And with sports, you can get all the games and you get special talk shows. Sometimes they go a little longer segments when it's not simulcast. So people think the same thing with satellite radio. Oh, yeah, they're not going to repeat. It's going to be a bunch of deep cuts. No, satellite radio repeats because they want you to repeat because, first off, they don't want you just listening to D&B radio. Okay, when you subscribe, they want to market to potential clients and to renew contracts with other clients. They're going to say, look, we make these stations repetitive, but we force our users to go to other stuff. So people get sick of D&B radio, they try classic vinyl, Jam On, Jimmy Buck radio. So we're going to make it so people will be exposed to this content. And yeah, they are Talking Tunes slowly dripping some live cuts. Now, some of it though is if you don't have every live tracks, you may hear some stuff you never heard before. Because some of the stuff that's rare drops, it may seem like you never heard it, you just don't have that live track. Right, but SNL is regular TV. My point is D&B Mamas. It's like how HBO they repeat Game of Thrones. When Game of Thrones was on, it just ended this year. They keep replaying Game of Thrones throughout the week. Certain movies keep getting rotated. If you watch enough HBO, you will see it's repetitive during the week. But when you first delve into HBO from regular cable, or from CBS or ABC, which like SNL on NBC, you expect repeats. But when you go to HBO at first, like the first month that I remember having HBO as a kid, you're like, whoa, there's all this content. And then you like say, oh, this keeps repeating. This keeps repeating. Their Real Time with Bill Mayer comes out once a week, but they keep repeating it throughout the week. Oh, this new movie is quicker to HBO than it is to DVD, but they keep playing that movie over and over. But the reason they do that is because people only have about 45 minutes to listen to the radio a day. I'm just making that number as a guess because of a commute and different things people do. So they want the exclusive stuff to come out at different times during the same day. So if you're on the West Coast, because even HBO, they have HBO and TNT has the East and the West. So you have stuff time for that. And even the local news is based on your local time zone. Um, so so yeah, just like any other commercial radio station, talking to makes the comment. Yeah. So it really is going to have a formula for playlists. It's not going to be the spontaneous stuff. And plus, when you have a radio station, familiarity is what keeps them. If you want super rare cuts, go to the archive.orgs, go to the tapers and trade with each other. Go to the dreamingtree.orgs and the ants marching, and you'll get all sorts of torrents. Go to Spotify or Apple Music. You can listen to B-sides of an artist's album on a streaming platform. Streaming is for the you call it how you want it, you control what you play. Pandora and DMB Radio and all these other types of radio platforms, they want to have the same stuff. Plus, you don't want to go too deep because you're going to lose people. And even with DMB, it's like they want to keep rotating the live content. The exclusive content is what gets people really to hop in, because if you own everything DMB related or Kenny Chesney related or Zach Brown, when they have the temporary Zach Brown brand radio related, you want to have the stuff you don't have, and nor will you have access to except through XM. So that's just something that I saw many of you guys know that. So there's not much to say about that. The next thing here is the Gorge and Rare songs. I'm gonna pull out my phone, and I was commenting earlier on just because we were talking about JTR, and JTR has not been played at the Gorge since 2006. 2006, 3 nights a year. JTR has not. We should start our own Twitter, DNB Family Radio. If someone funds it, DMB Mamas, I need to get paid. All right. This I do because I just love doing this. If I'm going to raise, they better show me the money, Jerry Maguire style. Okay. I need to get paid. Someone needs to crowdsource this. All right. Let me go back to talking to their money. Dum, dum, dum. Let's see, where is it? Oh, here it is. Here's the no, that's the DMB radio. Because someone was saying this dude, and I think it's because I'm just been in these fan groups so long. This dude was like, they should redo the you should probably petition them to update the warehouse store at least. I bought a live tracks and it was a CD Blu-ray only. My car is new and doesn't even have a CD player, so I don't even get to listen to them. And I was like, bro, you can you can download live tracks in lossless high definition or regular MP3, and it changed his life. But hey, everyone comes to DMB with different knowledge bases. And there's some stuff I know that people don't know. There's other stuff I don't know that other people know. So, it was just funny though that it was like it was just funny that someone says that. Yeah, so I was talking on DMB Family about like the Gorge not getting certain stuff, and this was some of the stats. Shotgun was never played at the Gorge in 2016. It was played in Wichita, Kansas, but it wasn't played in the Gorge in 2016. Obviously, like I said, JTR hasn't been played since 2016. I mean 2006 at the Gorge, but it's made deep runs in the East Coast 2013 in the Eastern Time Zone. In 2010, Kit Kat Jam debuted in Hartford, Connecticut, first show of the year. Never made it to the Gorge. In 2013, along with JTR, Dreaming Tree, The Riff, Spoon, and Broken Things, none of those were played at the Gorge. You know where they were played? They were played in two nights of Hartford. Certain years, number 40 is never played at the Gorge. You know where it's played? It's played at Saratoga Springs pretty much every year, partial or teased. So there are certain songs that stay on the East Coast, and I think the band may do it unknowingly, or the band gets energy at the beginning of the tour and they just don't feel like playing it at the end of the tour, or they feel a vibe of a certain city, a certain town, and how fans reacted, and they decide to give them that special Easter egg of a rare thing. There's many other examples, and there was in 2006. By the way, Two Step wasn't played at the Gorge. It was like the first year ever that it wasn't played at the Gorge since they started doing. Let me go to that show. 2006. Let's see, Gorge Amphitheater. Night. First time Two Step hasn't been played at the Gorge in either a single night or multi-night run. And JTR has only been played 6 times at the Gorge. Remember, this is 2006, so you know what that means. The band does love the East Coast. They do. And so from 2000 to 2006, when JTR came out in 2000, it was only played 6 times, and some of those were repeats back to back, 2 out of 3 nights. In 2000, I think in another year, it was played back. Let me go to those stats. So it wasn't even played every year between 2000 and 2006. So in 2000, it was played, I think 98 and 99. Oh, no, that's not true. What was the Gorge? 9-1. Hmm. Let me take a look at this. Two 2000. Oh, the Gorge was in August that year. 8-4. Oh, 8-4 and 8-5. That's interesting. Well, they were playing all these venues back in 2000. Gorge was in August. They went to Alpine after the Gorge in 2000. That's how you know I wasn't going to shows back then. It's not that. We'll talk about rain in the second DB Mamas because I had some examples where it didn't rain and they played it. But the JTR isn't just because of rain. The majority of JTRs are not played because of weather. So the Gorge in 2000 was in August 4th, 5th, and 6th. Oh yeah, because the Meadows was played in later August. So the Gorge was they did. So in 2000 they went through Columbus, Deer Creek, Cincy, Chicago, Pittsburgh. These are all like football stadiums, except Riverbend and Deer Creek and Polaris. They did Polaris in Columbus. That's no longer in service. Deer Creek, Riverbend. Then they did Soldier Field, Three River City, and that was where the Steelers and Pirates used to play. Comerica Park in Detroit, Foxborough Stadium, former home of the New England Patriots and Revolution, Giants Stadium, Veteran Stadium is a former vet. The vet used to be where the Phillies and the Eagles played. RFK, where the Redskins and Nationals played at different times. Ralph Wilson, the Bills, Mile High was where anyway, I'm gonna stop naming all this stuff. But they did a bunch of stadiums, football stadiums. Oh yeah, '06 they had OAR, Benny Abs. Yep, they did have, and they played. That was a crazy game of poker. I saw that when I was looking up the stats. That's like one of the only OAR songs I know. Yeah, they were popping back then, and I just never got into them. They're from Rockville, Maryland, which is not far from where my aunt lives. That is in Montgomery County, I think. Sorry, I'm a geography nut. I know all like. Yeah, but anyway, the point is, they played it back-to-back nights at the Gorge in 2000, meaning one of the years between 2000 and 2006 they didn't play it. So here's the thing. Here's a couple of things. So DB Mamas, the majority of JTRs aren't played because of rain. They've been played because of rain, but it's not the end all be all. In matter of fact, a lot of shows this year that have had these weather delays, they opt to do the last stop or Joyride or something else, like write a song when there's been bad weather. They're not doing JTR, even on the East Coast. Okay. And they did it for Dallas, and that was the first JTR in outside of the East Coast since 2006, going back when I was at the Gorge in the United States, because they played in Europe earlier this year as well. So, um, yes and no. And when I got it 6/7/13, it was raining hard, and it was like record flooding in Hartford for any concert night in Hartford. It was bad. But the thing is, the Gorge, and this is where I'm coming to the Gorge, expecting that not everything that's rare is going to be played at the Gorge. Now, if I'm proven wrong, hey, if I'm proven wrong, prove me wrong, Ben. But not everything that's been played through this year is going to be played at the Gorge. This is going to recap a lot of the stuff that's been highlighted, but there may be a song that stays at Alpine. There may be a song like If I Had It All that may stay back at the beginning of this tour. Who knows? But the Gorge is not the end all be all checklist of rare stuff from that year. You don't get certain stuff. Shotgun in 2016, not played at the Gorge. So what Austin will play? Well, I'm pretty sure they're going to do the mashup. Jimmy Thing's obviously going to be played. 41's obviously going to be played. You bet your butt Do You Remember is going to be played. And if it's not played, I will not shed a tear or I will cry tears of joy. But it's probably going to be played. Cortez will probably be. I'm just gonna expect to enjoy Warren Haynes to guess that with something. It'll probably be Cortez, but I'm not setting myself up to mentally get into that mode. I love Warren Haynes. I'm excited to see Government Mule for the first time. I've seen him with the Allman Brothers. Yeah, Come Tomorrow will be played. I hope it's just once, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's twice, like Samurai Cop last year. But if it's not played at all, hey, oh no, Come Tomorrow was not played. And I've said this, and I've said to DMB Mamas, I was commenting on her during the show when she was on typical DMB's Twitter handle. Love the idea of Come Tomorrow. The song is trash. The way it's written. And I know it was written, with in mind of the Marion Stoneman Douglas high school, victims, things like that. And that's great if that's healing for them. The song's not written well. It's not written well. It rhymes, but it's not written well, in my opinion. Everyone's different. Not a good song to me. But Come Tomorrow, yeah, I can go out. I can go without it. And speaking of tragic things, the condolences to everyone in El Paso. I believe, right? It was El Paso, Texas, where there was a shooting, and we need to look out for each other. That's all I'll say. I don't want to get to the gun control debate, but the most deadliest thing in the world is being in a room by yourself with a cell phone where you can access a lot of hate on this internet. We have issues with people who break up with somebody or struggle with something and they resort to violence with the weapon versus you know figuring out a way to deal with that stress. We have men, but more importantly, women that have to worry about breaking up with someone and having that person go after them. It's a real thing, and I've seen it, and I've been an RA with working with law enforcement. If this person comes back, this ex comes back, they're arrested immediately. It's very sad that we need to help each other in this world that's divisive and divided. We need to help and serve others, and many people are doing that. And that's what I love about the DMV community, is many of us are doing that. And talking to us, said, "Yeah, it's a bathroom break song." That was an audible groan. I saw so many people take the bathroom break. Um, and I know that's close to DMV Mamas. You're in New Mexico, right? And El Paso is the one major town in between the Austin San Antonio route to the edge of Texas when you get over into New Mexico. So I know it's close to New Mexico if you're out there. But yeah, Belly Belly Nice. Um, I do like it. I like the vibes of it, but it did get played out. Um, but it was better than Mercy and If Only. I will say that. Belly Belly Nice. The vibes of it were fun. Can't get too much, and I've covered it actually. It's one of the songs I covered a lot from Away from the World with my buddy when we were out. Back in those 2012 days, we had graduated college and we're just doing open mics as new adults, finding our way in the world. And we would do Belly Belly Nice, and it's a fun song to play. Yeah, catchy chorus, give it up in the breakdown. That's where I actually like Rashawn there. A lot of stuff I don't like Rashawn on because the older songs don't need as much horn. But that dun, 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 like in it, like it's pretty dope. So, but I think from the newer songs, some of my newer songs here on out is a gem. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Um, Here on out, you should really have that as your first dance. You should skip You and Me, and here on out should be the default if you're getting married. First dance. But here on out, oh, you're in Sarasota now. Oh, that's awesome. So you're in Sarasota. That's on the West Coast, or just north of Tampa. If my geography is right. Sarasota is Sarasota north of Tampa? I'm not looking at a map, but it's right on that west coast of Florida. Oh, south of Tampa. That's what it is. What you got there? Sarasota, and then you have Fort Myers. Okay. Yeah, Talking Tunes went to Siesta Beach. Be yourself, nah. Be yourself. Sorry, Benny. I hated Be Yourself, but Bismarck is dope. Be Yourself just could get. It doesn't need to be played ever again. And the lovely lady. That plus that like that Cape Coral, yeah, Clearwater too. Isn't Clearwater out there? Or Clearwater? I think that may be more closer to. I don't know. And you got Yeah, even DMV, my house like 2 years old. But hey, man, if you like that vignette, hey, whatever people like, you like. You put 995 miles. Oh my gosh. The BKB, yeah, that intro. Yeah, we'll see if it comes in the gorge, if the tour did on the rental. 995 miles. Well, you went across, you went to West Palm Beach. That makes sense. Yeah. You was going up and down the West Coast. You take what, 75? Isn't it 75 that cuts through? Isn't what it cuts through the Everglades, right? Get to 75 and get out to West Palm Beach on the east side, right? But yeah, but 75 cuts across. I know it goes north south. That goes right through Gainesville and it goes out of Georgia. But 75 isn't that the highway that cuts through the Everglades? Unless I'm thinking Alligator Alley. Oh, you took 60 the long way. Let me look at this. See, I just like I said, I just look at maps. I literally just stare at Google Maps. When I was a kid, I used to just look at my globe and yeah, 75 cuts to. Oh, but that's for Lauderdale. Oh yeah. See, I told you. See, I know this stuff. 75 cuts through the Everglades, but it's like further south. I'm looking at this. Sorry, guys who want to hear DMV. um, 75 to 4. 4 goes through Orlando, right? That's like I associate 4 with it. Yeah, 4 cuts through 219. Okay. Oh, so you took 60? Anyway, I know that I was just down there. I was down in Miami last year. And then I went to the Keys. Cousin lives in Homestead. I've been to Orlando, been to Jacksonville. Haven't been to the West Coast of Florida, but I just know this stuff. I know a lot of it. I just, like I said, I look at maps. Okay. Oh, Bradenton is the other thing. That's north of Bradenton is north of, and then you have Port Charlotte out there. A lot of New Englanders out on the West Coast. A lot of New Englanders, Fort Myers and Sarasota, Tampa. A lot of New Englanders out there. And then you get towards the Orlando area and you have the retirees. What is it? The Villages. Oh my gosh, the Villages. That thing is like that's crazy. It's just like a retirement community that's even expanding. Anyway, let's stop talking about that. Yeah, it's probably excellent because it's retired New Englanders who made that pizza place. I mean, New England has the best pizza. And a lot of people, I mean, half my state lives down in Florida when they retire. It's starting to change. People are going towards North Carolina, South Carolina now, because South Carolina has more open land to build on and develop. Florida's already been developed. The only thing they're building is inland, like the Villages. It's a very big retirement community. They're building that up, but that's in Central Florida, towards Orlando and Lakeland area, like in between those two. The Villages are out there, and they're just expanding that because it's inland land. That and a lot of it is they're trying to figure what's swamp and what can be built on. But the coast is done. The coast has been done, and the only reason, the fun fact, the only reason that South, like one of the big reasons Florida was the way it is now is because South Florida is the way it is because the lowest recorded temperatures in South Florida, like in Miami, are there never have been below freezing in modern era. So farmers, the orange makers and everything, they moved further south because there was a great freeze in the 1920s. And like St. Augustine, that was like the borderline of where stuff froze and didn't freeze. But like Jacksonville, all that stuff, like in northern Florida, the crops were destroyed. And there was a food shortage. But And anything south of like St. Augustine didn't freeze, so they kept moving south. They cut out of the jungle of my what is now Miami and built Miami, and then the Florida Keys, because the Florida Keys, I think the lowest recorded temperature is like 40, maybe 41. Can't remember. Let me look that up. Lowest recorded. We're gonna talk about everything not DMB. Lowest recorded temp Key West. Oh, a low of 42. Low of 42. There's no known occurrence of snow and flurries since the settlement of the region. I mean, oh no, no, no! I was wrong. Hold on, that I was looking at the wrong thing. Oh, here DMV fans are gonna like this. The lowest temperature recorded there during that period was 41 degrees Fahrenheit. 41, January 13th, 1981. That's crazy. Now I know it's like the Florida Keys is pretty much the Caribbean. You get down there. I was down there last year, but it's just like I could never imagine the lowest recorded temperature. It gets below 41 degrees in parts of September sometimes here. So and I know talking tunes you're up in Ohio, so you're like same thing here. But it's just mind-boggling that like the lowest recorded temperature in Miami, it's not much. It's like it's around the same as far as maybe a little lower of a temperature, but ever like in the history of like the last 200 years, they've never recorded a temperature below 41 degrees. Partly sunny with a chance of OTL. And shout out to Talking Tunes, man. I'm happy for you. I've said it a bunch of times, but the fact that you got your video exposed to Jambi, it's just cool because I've never seen, and maybe they've shared other videos of mine or yours, who knows? But it's just cool to see. I know these publications, they're gonna take whatever they can off YouTube because technically you can't. That's not my content. They can't ask for it, but they can take it, and it's just easy for their article. We do the work for them, but still, the fact that Talking Tunes had his number 41 to Orteal on Jam Bass and all this other stuff, and then like even with me with John Mayer, like the Fire on the Mountain, like that's really dope to see that. Like, oh, I'm on 1 week, next week is Talking Tunes, like that's just cool to see that. Oh, I know Talking Tunes, like to get that exposure and for people just to see it, it's awesome. And to me, even when it happened to me, I was like, I don't even care about whatever the view. Like if people tune into my stuff, that's really what I care about. I don't care. My YouTube isn't even monetized. I don't even think I can monetize a concert recording because it's someone else's content. But I don't monetize my YouTube. And I'm just here to talk and hang out with you guys. And who knows, maybe this will grow into a business. I don't know. But right now, and you can still donate the Cash App $ concert viz 34 if you want to donate because I'm trying to upgrade my equipment. This computer is trash. But still, it's just really cool. And but Talking to was glad to see. It's like, oh, that's Talking to. And the thing is, Talking to, you know this behind the scenes. What you do is you get clips of stuff, you upload clips of stuff, and you enjoy the rest of the show or the rest of the song. But I was like, I'm hoping that Talking Tunes got the full 41 because then it's gonna be like, all right, now we can share this, now we can get this out, and your video, your YouTube page is full. And sure enough, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's on all different sites. They got the Talking Tunes thing below. Oh, I know that dude in the video. So yeah, I'm just happy for that to see that. The other thing, and I'll close on this, and this will be pretty much it because it's 59 minutes. But the one thing that I want to look more into is my boy John Dix said at Saratoga, people were walking around with envelopes of tickets for pavilion seats, not lawn seats, pavilion seats. I've always said this. I am concerned not necessarily with the scalp. We know what the scalpers and ticket brokers are going to do. We know what Ticketmaster is going to do. Okay, we know exactly what they're going to do. But my concern is just like with the people who buy up all these posters, although those that's a little different because it's art. But still, some of them that buy two posters or whatever, it's kind of extra. But with the tickets, it's time sensitive. You can get a poster or not get a poster later on. It's not the show. The show is the show. That's what you really go there for. The poster is just a secondary thing you can have as a keepsake. But he said there were people with just pavilion seats, just not brokers, just regular people. What's concerned me about the D&B community is people stretch themselves so far. And what it hurts is this. It when people hoard up tickets and they buy 5 or they apply for 10 different stops from the tour, they get confirmed for 8 of them. And then something happens, oh, I can't afford this anymore. And life happens, hardships happen, you gotta do what you gotta do. But the frustrating thing is when someone has an envelope full of tickets, not a broker, just someone who wants to hoard tickets, and they're at like if you don't drive to that show because you think it's sold out, those tickets may go unused. Those tickets are sitting there until showtime. That is disappointing. And I know people get good last minute deals, but it's disappointing that people hoard a bunch of tickets. And people have been waiting, they're waiting, they're waiting, they're waiting. And finally, the day of the show, all this stuff pops up. You didn't know a day ago. I was ready a day ago to go last minute. You didn't know until the day of the show that you couldn't use these 5 tickets. What? And there are great deals, but again, for preparation and things like that, people hoarding a dozen tickets, it's excessive to me. It's excessive. Um, that's all I got for this week. Um, like I said, check out This Week in Mayor if you're into John Mayer. And that's it. I need to relax and get to bed. And 10 miles took a lot out of me. But that's all I got. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's your boy ConstantViz34. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. All right, peace. Oh, and talking to, sorry, before you leave, I did hear I listened to the live stream for John Mayer while I was going live here, and he talked about the gender reveal. Yeah, so it's confirmed it was a boy. He talked about it on Instagram Live during his set break. But I hope you're. I don't know. Talking to is who is? I know you said Linda. Is that your? Who is that? Because you said Linda's daughter and husband. Oh, that's your fiance. Oh, your fiance. Okay. Oh, okay. I was like, who's Linda? Because you told me you've been engaged, but I don't think you've ever told me the name. So, like, okay, so Linda's your fiance. Okay, so that. Okay, so her child is okay. That's cool. So her daughter and her husband. Okay, well, I hope they enjoy the show. Yeah, it's okay. No worry, don't worry about it. I just was like, who is Linda? My mom's name is Linda too. So I was like, Linda. But anyway, love you, stop. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful night. It's your boy Concert 34. Peace.